Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 19th of November. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Flight Centre, PPK Group, Talga Resources, AVA Group and Incitec Pivot. So if you have a request, send it through. Make sure you've signed up to our newsletter. If you haven't had a trial of the Dynamic Investor, make sure you do that as well. If you enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media. Remember, my core business is giving advice and portfolio management. So if you need extra help beyond all the free stuff, please give me a call and I'll discuss it with you. And any advice, of course, is general only. So starting off with Flight Centre. So look, I've been bullish on travel stocks for months now, and they're really starting to get a move on, and I think there's further upside, even as recently as sort of mid-September here at $13, we had it in the Dynamic Investor report, and you can see it's done pretty well. Most recently we saw it gap up here on good volume, so cleared this trading range here. It's been hanging in there for a few days, and now it's on the move. So I think this will continue to head higher. The next test, of course, is the June peak, but I think it should be able to get through that. Once it gets through the June peak, that should bring in even more buying, and I think that would be the next opportunity to top it up. Okay, PPK. So look, I think this trend looks very strong. And ultimately it looks like it will have further to run. Looking at this chart is a good lesson as to why you don't always sell when your RSI is overbought. As we could see back here in August, the RSI became overbought, and I've had people tell me, what does that mean you sell? Well, if you'd sold it here, you would have missed out on almost doubling your money. So in a strong trend, the RSI will bounce around in overbought for a while. So this is a strong trend. I think it's got further to run. Short term though, we're getting close to this peak. That'll be natural resistance. So in terms of buying it here, I'd wait for another consolidation under that peak. And then I think that would be the next buying opportunity. Okay, Talga Resources, another, I guess, great looking trend, very strong. Volume in all the right places. So we have, a movement here, good volume, consolidation, low volume, move up, high volume, consolidation, low volume, and so on. We can see that quite clearly. In terms of would I be buying it here, look, I'd be happy to hold it. I'll just zoom in. Happy as a hold. In terms of buying, obviously it's quite extended, it's pretty vertical. So, there aren't any sort of obvious levels, in my opinion, here to say where to buy it. So I'd look at something like a moving average. If we pull up, say, a 20-day moving average, exponential moving average, we could see that it's generally followed that pretty well. So I'd wait for this gap to close up again, similar to what you saw here, and then that would be the next buying opportunity. AVA, so this is also a strong trend. This is one that we've been recommending to some of our clients over the last few months. Strong trend, but quite sustainable. So it's not moving vertically. So I think this looks pretty sustainable here. Most recently, we could see it's consolidated. So I think that presents a buying opportunity, especially when we look at the nice sort of bounce off the lows yesterday. And again, if you look at say a 20-day moving average on this one, we can see this one follows it very well, and most recently it's bounced off that. So again, that gives me reason to believe that if anything, we've got another buying opportunity here. Okay, and finally, Incitec Pivot. So we had most recently we had this sort of narrow trading range between 2 and 220, and a few weeks ago it looked quite a bit under pressure there. It sort of started to slope off and break support. But then in the last couple of days, it's managed to get above that range. So that's a positive. So it's now looking okay. However, you've got this peak here in April will offer resistance. So, you know, you could buy the breakout, but then you've got a very clear resistance level very close by. So I'd prefer to see it actually get through 240 first, and then there's a potential opportunity there. Okay, well that's all for this week. As always, if you have a request, send it through. I'll try to include yours next Thursday for you.